Kraus says, "What do you mean?" Mathis answers, he smiles, and for a moment he almost seems handsome, despite the blood, the burns, the bruises. "Pay attention to what I am about to say, sir. It will be the only time you hear it from me. Chaos has already won because, at that precise instant, the prisoner lunges forward with a strength inexplicable for his condition. The chains creak, the iron chair tilts, a dry crack is heard. The prisoner's head bent violently to the side, at an unnatural angle. In my judgment, his neck broke instantly. The chair fell back heavily. Mathis's eyes remained open, fixed. Guard Hans says, "By all the saints, sir, he is dead. He broke the chains. How?" Kraus says, "Check his pulse." Now. Rapid footsteps, clinking of keys. The guard bends down, touches the prisoner's neck. Guard Hans again. Nothing. It is over. Guard Hans continue. Chaos has already won, because silence. The guard freezes. I myself, the scribe, stop writing for a moment. Kraus says, "Hans, what did you say?" Guard Hans says, his voice changes slightly in tone, becoming more rounded, similar to that of Mathis in the last minutes. Chaos has already won, because the words you believe are yours are only echoes. Because when you hate in his name, even if you call it justice. Because when you fear in his name, even if you call it prudence. Because when you desire in his name, even if you call it virtue. Kraus says, "Hans, be silent. That is an order." Guard Hans again. He continues as if he had not heard. Chaos has already won, because every time you think at least I am pure, a laugh echoes where the sky is broken, and that laugh is yours. The guard draws his dagger from his belt in one swift motion. Before anyone can intervene, he drives it into his own throat with a rapid gesture. A spray of hot blood. He falls forward, almost onto Mathis's corpse. "Ludwig," I screamed. I do not remember whether I dropped the pen. I believe I did. The room began to spin. The Inquisitor stepped back. Second guard from the doorway, Sigmar Pro. His voice breaks off, then resumes. His tongue moves as if pulled by a string. Chaos has already won, because your prayers are made of fear, and fear is his bread. Because your faith exists only as long as there is a threat, and the threat is him, so you feed him with every litany. Because every time you rummage through the shadows, hoping to find nothing, a part of you desperately wants to find something, to have one more reason to hate. Kraus says, "Walther, stop yourself." With a terrified gaze, yet unable to stop. Chaos has already won, because even now, as you order me to be silent, a part of you wants to know how the sentence ends. Walther raises his hand, still trembling, and strikes himself with the pommel of his sword on the temple, once, twice, 3 times, until a stronger blow makes him collapse sideways. He falls to the ground, motionless. Ludwig, note, 2 guards dead in a few heartbeats, none possessed by visible beasts, no glowing brand upon their flesh, only words slipping out of them as if they were reading from an invisible text. Kraus says, breathing heavily, "Scribe, stop writing. Leave." My voice in my memory, "Sir, I cannot. I must record." Kraus says, "I said leave." The quill begins to move again against my will. My hand moves almost on its own. Chaos has already won, because the ink at this point is thicker. Droplets and overlapping strokes indicate that the scribe's hand was trembling. Kraus says, "Ludwig, what are you?" Ludwig, as if someone else were speaking through him. "Chaos has already won, because I am writing these words, and I know they are not mine. Because I feel your fear, Sir Kraus, beating against my back like a wet cloak. Because within your faith there is a small crack where at night you ask yourself, what if they are right? And that question is already a prayer offered to the other side." Kraus says the whip falls to the floor. The clink of his Sigmar medallion is heard. "Enough! Enough! Be silent!" Ludwig. I keep writing, tears falling onto the page. Chaos has already won. Because in this cell there is not a single thought that has not been heard, weighed, savoured by those who worship the tear and the fracture. Because your voice, mine, that of Hans, that of Walther, and the broken voice of the peasant are only different masks of the same laughter. Kraus says, his voice gross, "Ludwig, look at me." I raised my gaze. The Inquisitor was staring at me, his eyes dilated, his lips pressed together as if to hold something back. For an instant, I thought he would beg. Instead, he spoke in a tone I had never heard from him. Kraus says, his timbre splits, a deeper note vibrating beneath. Chaos has already won. Because even in the moment I try to stop you, a part of me wants to listen to the end of what I am saying through you. Because as I clutch this medallion of Sigmar, I feel that I could clasp another symbol with the same devotion. If only it promised me that the world would cease to be so incoherent. Because tonight, when I return to the light of the temple, I shall look upon the faces of the priests, and I shall wonder how many of them have already felt, in their hearts, the sweetness of another's scream. Ludwig. In that moment, I saw the hammer medallion tremble in his hand. He did not let it fall. He did not kill himself. Perhaps because his will is stronger. Or perhaps because someone, on the other side, decided it was more amusing that way. After these events, Inquisitor Kraus ordered the dungeons to be purified with holy water and incense. The bodies of guards Hans and Walther were burned immediately, together with that of Mathis Gruber without funerals. I was told to destroy this transcript. I did not. Every night since the incident, I dream of the cell. In the dream, there are no more chains, nor iron. There are only myself, the Inquisitor, a faceless peasant, and a circle of people I do not recognize. Nobles, priests, soldiers, beggars. We all speak in turns, but it is always the same voice. I often wake with a sentence on my lips, which I note here against all good sense. Chaos has already won, because the Empire exists only as long as it believes it can lose. I do not know what it means. I only know that as I write these last lines, my hand has stopped trembling. And for a moment in the fresh ink, I seem to discern something that is smiling.